This is my most anticipated TBR of the year. I don't care what anyone says, October is the best reading month. It always is. It's just such a vibe. I have literally been putting off some of these books until October, even though I've been wanting to read them for a long time. Just because I knew that these needed to be October books. So we are not doing the TBR jar this month because I just needed to pick my own TBR this month. It had to be perfectly curated. Let's just get right into what I'm gonna read in October. The first is actually the most anticipated book for me of October. I have had this book on my shelf for, I would say, well over 6 months. And I've just been staring at it and waiting patiently for this month. And that is Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This is a sapphic horror Dracula retelling, and it follows one of Dracula's wives. The summary for this says, saved from the brink of death by a mysterious stranger, Constanta is transformed from a medieval peasant into a bride fit for an undying king. But when Dracula draws a cunning aristocrat and a starving artist into his web of passion and deceit, Constanta realizes that her beloved is capable of terrible things. Finding comfort in the arms of her rival consorts, she begins to unravel their husband's dark secrets. With the lives of everyone she loves on the line, Constanta will have to choose between her own freedom and her love for her husband, but bonds forged by blood can be broken only by death. I read Dracula earlier on this year, I think in March, and it actually turned out to be one of my top favorite books of this year so far, which I was actually not expecting. I was kind of scared that I wouldn't be able to get through it because a lot of time classics are really hard to get through for me just because of like the old English. It's kind of just like hard for me to understand in my brain. I don't know. But I absolutely loved it, and it made me even more excited to pick this up. This month I'm going to be doing a lot of pickups from the library for my TBR, which I'm excited about because I love using the library. And the first book that I'm going to be picking up from the library is Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. The internet says that the genre of this book is gothic fiction, fantasy fiction, fairy tale, romantic fantasy, dark fantasy, contemporary fantasy. So basically, I'm gonna call it gothic fantasy. The summary of this one is, Eden, Kentucky is just another dying, bad luck town known only for the legend of E. Starling, the reclusive 19th century author and illustrator who wrote The Underland and disappeared. Before she vanished, Starling House appeared, but everyone agrees that it's best to let the uncanny house and its last lonely heir, Arthur Starling, go to rot. Opal knows better than to mess with haunted houses or brooding men, but an unexpected job offer might be a chance to get her brother out of Eden. Too quickly, though, Starling House starts to feel dangerously like something she's never had, a home. As sinister forces converge in Starling House, Opal and Arthur are going to have to make a dire choice to dig up the buried secrets of the past and confront their own fears, or let Eden be taken over by literal nightmares. If Opal wants a home, she'll have to fight for it. I needed to put a haunted house book on this list because I just feel like you need a good haunted house story during Halloween time. So when I was on the hunt for haunted house stories, this one came up and it sounded like a really good vibe. So I'm so excited for this one. Then I will be picking up The Atlas Six by Olivia Blake. This has also been on my bookshelf for a very long time, probably just as long as Dowry of Blood actually. I think I got them at the same time at the thrift store. So I've been highly anticipating this one too. This is A Dark Academia, and the summary says, each decade, only the 6 most uniquely talented magicians are selected to earn a place in the Alexandrian Society, the foremost secret society in the world. The chosen will secure a life of power and prestige beyond their wildest dreams. But at what cost? Each of the 6 newest recruits has their reasons for accepting the society's elusive invitation, even if it means growing closer than they could have imagined to their most dangerous enemies, or risking unforgivable betrayal from their most trusted allies. They will fight tooth and nail for the right to join the ranks of the Alexandrians, even if it means they won't all survive the year. I have heard both good things and bad things about this. Some people love it, some people hate it, so I'm always excited when a book has reviews like that because I just want to know where I stand on that spectrum. And next, that I'm going to be picking up from the library, and it just wouldn't be spooky season without a Neil Gaiman. So I'm going to be picking up The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. If you guys know me, you guys know that I've only read 2 Neil Gaiman books, but both of them have been 5 stars, and I'm just so excited to read more of his backlist and see if I like all of them. So this is technically children's literature is what the internet calls it, but it kind of seems like like almost like children's horror, and I know that sounds wild. Because children shouldn't be reading horror books, obviously. So maybe it's more like children's fantasy or something like that. But the summary says, Nobody Owens, known to his friends as Bod, is a perfectly normal boy. Well, he would be perfectly normal if he didn't live in a graveyard, being raised and educated by ghosts, with a solitary guardian who belongs to neither the world of the living nor the world of the dead. There are dangers and adventures for Bod in the graveyard, the strange and terrible menace of the Sleer, a gravestone entrance to a desert that leads to the city of ghouls, friendship with a witch, and so much more. But it is in the land of the living that real danger lurks, for it is there that the man Jack lives, and he has already killed Bod's family. I just love Neil Gaiman. I can't wait to get another one of his books under my belt. I can't wait to see what I rate this one. How crazy would it be if like every single Neil Gaiman book was a 5 stars for me? I think that's a little bit too hopeful, but a girl can dream. The next book that I'm going to be picking up from the library is And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. I know I literally just said that classics are hard for me to read, but I'm hoping that this one doesn't have like intense Old English. But we will see. I just feel like spooky season wouldn't be spooky season without an Agatha Christie. Not that I've read any Agatha Christie yet, but it's just what she's known for. She's just so famous for her spooky writing. And this is arguably her most famous book. The internet says that the genre is history, crime, mystery, detective fiction, drama. The summary for this one is, First there were 10, a curious assortment of strangers summoned as weekend guests to a little private island off the coast of Devon. Their host, an eccentric millionaire unknown to all of them, is nowhere to be found. All that the guests have in common is a wicked past they're unwilling to reveal and a secret that will seal their fate, for each has been marked for murder. A famous nursery rhyme is framed and hung in every room of the mansion. 10 little boys went out to dine, 1 choked his little self, and then there were 9. 9 little boys sat up very late, 1 overslept himself, and then there were 8. 8 little boys traveling in Devon, 1 said he'd stay there, then there were 7. 7 little boys chopping up sticks, 1 chopped himself in half, and then there were 6. 6 little boys playing with a hive, a bumblebee stung 1, and then there were 5. 5 little boys going in for law, 1 got in chancery, and then there were 4. 4 little boys going out to sea, a red herring swallowed 1, and then there were 3. 3 little boys walking in the zoo, a big bear hugged 1, and then there were 2. 2 little boys sitting in the sun, 1 got frizzled up, and then there was 1. 1 little boy left all alone, he went out and hanged himself, and then there were none. When they realize that murders are occurring as described in the rhyme, terror mounts. One by one they fall prey. Before the weekend is out, there will be none. Who has choreographed this dastardly scheme, and who will be left to tell the tale? Only the dead are above suspicion. Gosh, guys, I'm so sorry about the lighting. I am actually obsessed with mysteries like this. This is kind of giving like Knives Out, and I absolutely loved Knives Out so much. And I know that Knives Out probably got their idea from this book actually, but mysteries like this, I just love them so much. I'm really, really hoping that I'll love this one. And the last book that I have on my October TBR is The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. This is a thriller. There is a movie, I don't know when it was made, but I think it was made recently, like within the last 10 years, I'm pretty sure. So I just love books that are also movies or shows, because then I just have even more content to consume. The summary of this one is: Anna Fox lives alone, a recluse in her New York City home, unable to venture outside. She spends her days drinking wine, maybe too much, watching old movies, recalling happier times, and spying on her neighbors. Then the Russells move into the house across the way. A father, a mother, their teenage son. The perfect family. But when Anna, gazing out her window one night, sees something she shouldn't, her world begins to crumble, and its shocking secrets are laid bare. What is real? What is imagined? Who is in danger? Who is in control? In this diabolically gripping thriller, no one and nothing is what it seems. I can't remember if I've seen the movie for this. I know I've seen the trailer, I think. Is this the one with, oh my gosh, what's her name? What is her name? The one that's married to Dax Shepard. Kristen Bell. Oh my gosh. I could not continue without figuring that out. But I don't know, is that the one? I'm pretty sure Kristen Bell was in a thriller recently, and I want to say it was this one. Either way, I'm really excited to read this and then watch the movie. And that is it, you guys. That is my October TBR. I couldn't be more excited for these picks. As you guys know, as I've said over and over again in this video, I wish that October was like 2 months long so that I could put even more spooky books on this TBR, but I will probably read some more spooky mystery thriller-ish books in November as well. But I also kind of want to get into like the Christmassy vibe by the end of November, So yeah, anyways guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and comment and subscribe. I would love to have you stick around if you like bookish videos. I'm trying to grow my account and make this a full-time thing for me so I can support my family. I am also a mom and a solo parent if that interests you. My Instagram and TikTok are linked down below if you're interested, and so are all of these books. But until next time guys, bye!